does taking action outside of your comfort zone cause growth? Stepping outside of one's comfort zone is a powerful catalyst for personal growth. It exposes individuals to new challenges and opportunities for learning, fosters adaptability and flexibility, and encourages individuals to embrace uncertainty and take risks. This process can lead to increased confidence, a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment, and a greater understanding of one's full potential. Through anecdotal surveys I conducted with various professional athletes and personal empirical observation, I will explore why acting outside of one's comfort zone, though difficult, yields the most growth in a person. The evidence supports that acting outside of the comfort zone provides opportunity, affects the body and mind in a positive way, and empowers individuals. Comfort kills, right? But what is the comfort zone, and how does it lead to growth? Hi, my name's Retzlaff. I'm a 20-year-old photographer, soccer player, and student who recently jumped off the deep end of my comfort zone. On January 31st, I dropped everything I ever knew to move to Barcelona, Spain, alone. My comfort zone existed in North Carolina, and I challenged myself back home, but I was pretty set in my routine, and I decided it was time for a change. I hopped on a flight to Barcelona, Spain, and landed in a world of new culture, new people, new language, and an infinite amount of things to do. Sounds great, right? But everything was new. There was no sense of familiarity whatsoever, something I had never experienced before, and I was met with the most discomfort I've ever felt in my life. I shut down for the first half of my time here, telling myself I couldn't make it to the end. But why? Well, let's get back to defining the comfort zone. As defined by Borbasi, Jackson, and Wilkes in their 2012 article published in the Journal of Nursing Education and Practice, the comfort zone can be defined as a state of mind in which an individual feels safe, secure, and in control of their environment, and where they have a sense of predictability and familiarity. In other words, the comfort zone is a psychological state where one feels familiar, safe, and at ease with their current environment and routines. One that experiences low levels of stress and anxiety, and generally avoids new situations or experiences that may cause uncertainty or discomfort. But in order to leave the comfort zone, we must first define what is inside the comfort zone and what's outside of the comfort zone. Well, things inside the comfort zone allow you to feel good in the moment, but leave you stagnant long term. So let's define a few things that are in my comfort zone. Well, to start, I grew up in Raleigh for the first 18 years of my life, went to the same school for those 18 years, and played on the same soccer club team for those 18 years. Meaning, for the most part, I was surrounded by the same people and same environments my entire childhood growing up, and was able to create a routine through that. One that didn't challenge me, one that was easy. So my comfort zone was the familiarity of the life I've always known, and it being a pretty easy one that didn't require too much external action from me. The path of life was always kind of paved for me, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't really achieve too much. You won't find my name attached to valedictorian, next to any high school records, or being the star of any team I played on. And that's not to say I didn't push myself or achieve anything. I did, and I have fantastic childhood memories, but I was satisfied with fitting the status quo and not challenging too much as I was afraid of being judged. So what does it mean for things that are outside the comfort zone? Well, they're difficult in the moment, they take time and committed effort, but bring prosperity in the long run. So what are some things that are outside of my comfort zone? Well, the first time I truly found myself outside of my comfort zone was when I committed to Johnson Wales University, a school that I knew nobody prior to attending, and in a new city I wasn't that familiar with. It was a challenge that was met with discomfort, but over my first 2.5 years at the school, I reached new heights both personally and professionally that I never knew possible. I was learning about myself and learning to connect and network with people I was unfamiliar with, which over time led me to being flown out to Miami to photograph events where I got to meet and work with top professional athletes and creatives from around the world. I put on a mental health event in conjunction with the J Women's soccer team where we raised money for a local nonprofit and brought together the Charlotte FC players from the area, and I co-captained my team to a national championship in my junior season. But above all that, I met new best friends for life that allowed me to be surrounded with the positive energy that I needed to achieve all those things and that pushed me to do new things in life. People I never would have met had I not taken the chance to go to Johnson & Wales University. After settling into my time in Charlotte, I decided it was time to take the biggest step of my life. I left my home state and moved to Barcelona to study abroad for the semester. Nothing would compare to the discomfort I felt here. I expected the comfort of everything I had back home to still be here. The same routine, the same work, the same comfort. I couldn't have been more wrong, and I didn't face the challenge at first. I found myself falling into depression and begging my parents to bring me home. I told myself I couldn't make it through the time. There was no way I was going to make it to the finish line. I was clinging on to the comfort zone I had built back home. But I had to remember, the situations you find yourself in don't define who you are. How you react to the situations you find yourself in defines who you are. For example, let's look at Kyle Guy, who I got to interview on March 5th, 2023, a former UVA basketball star who went on to play for the Miami Heat. This would be a pretty good career in most people's eyes. He reached great heights at UVA and was now playing for one of the best basketball teams in the NBA. This would be a pretty easy life to settle into. Although Kyle didn't want to settle. What mattered more to him was getting more minutes on the court, not just having the label of being a Miami Heat player. So 8 months ago, in August of 2022, Kyle packed his bags and took an offer to play for Club Joventut Badalona in Spain. Kyle found himself in an extremely unfamiliar situation, facing homesickness, loneliness, and pressure to perform. Kyle understood he had two choices. Either focus on the negatives, allow the situation to consume him and shut down, or view the situation as a positive challenge and immerse himself in an opportunity to do something he's never done before. Kyle chose the latter and gave himself time to grow through the challenge by taking action. Today, Kyle has played 28 games for Club Joventut Badalona, providing 312 points and 58 assists for the team. Not too bad, Kyle. The result of this? Kyle has a newfound level of happiness and confidence about himself, knowing that he was able to move across the world and still thrive doing what he loves most. Although leaving your hometown is a common catalyst for exiting the comfort zone, you don't have to move around the world in order to leave your comfort zone. Remember that coffee I got at the beginning of this video? It would be easy to just sit down, put my AirPods in, pull up Netflix, and then leave. Stepping outside the comfort zone in this scenario can be as simple as meeting and talking to the person sitting next to you. You never know who you could meet and the opportunities that can come from a simple conversation. So why is discomfort and challenging yourself important? Putting yourself in challenging situations and acting in times of discomfort requires you to overcome fear, stress, anxiety, and self-doubt, which are all created in the mind. Coming to understand you're stronger than your mind and taking the next step even when you can't see the finish line allows you to learn about yourself and come to be a more holistic person. When I asked Derrick Jones, the defensive midfielder for Charlotte FC, what leaving his comfort zone did for him, he expressed that he faced mental challenges after leaving Ghana for the States to play soccer, but he always worked through it and never lost sight of his goals. Through overcoming the challenges that he faced, Derrick now seeks to be an inspiration through self-expression in both fashion and on the field for other Ghanaians who have similar dreams as him. In his words from October 22nd, 2022, he said, "I rock my kicks to inspire others to be themselves. Work hard, do what you do best, don't listen to the negativity. Where I come from, it's not that easy to get to where I'm at today." Oh, and as for me, I've been giving myself time. Just as a tree doesn't grow overnight, neither does anything worthwhile. I've come to understand my emotions better and taken action despite how I've felt. Since arriving in Barcelona, I've worked on some of my favorite projects ever, met new great people, and gotten the chance to experience things I never would have had the chance to had I stayed in Charlotte. And I couldn't be prouder of myself for overcoming everything I felt at first, knowing that I'm stronger because of it, and I'm allowing it to fuel my future. In this life, discomfort is inevitable. Growth is a choice. In times of uncertainty, the most important thing is taking the next step, even if you can't see the finish line. The rockier the journey, the greater the outcome. We all have goals. Don't let comfort kill them. It may be difficult and require great effort, but with every step, you gain new perspective and insight. And as you continue to climb higher and higher, the view becomes better and better. So get out in the world, climb your mountain, and embrace discomfort, knowing that before a promotion, there will always be a test.